call the Board of Education meeting of Monday, March 17th to order. Before we begin tonight's meeting, I ask that we take a moment to honor and remember Miss Jody Ladd, a beloved teacher at Grafton High School who dedicated over 30 years of educating and advocating for her students. Miss Ladd's passion for teaching and unwavering commitment to her students left a lasting impact on our school community. After a courageous 7-year battle with cancer, she passed away on March 16th. Her kindness, strength, and dedication will be missed by colleagues, students, and families alike. Please join me in a moment of silence as we reflect on her legacy and keep her loved ones in our thoughts. Thank you. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. First, a consent agenda. I would look for a motion to approve the minutes of February 24th board meeting, as well as the statement of receipts and expenditures for February of 2025.
So moved.
Second.
First and a second. Any additional discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? That passes. That brings us to Mr. Manti and the Grafton High School presentation.
Clap from Jay.
All right, good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for having us this evening. We're super excited to share a few cool things going on at Grafton High School. And as we get started here, I want to take just a minute to talk a little bit about the history of our presentations that we've had with the board here over the last few years. So I'm in my 10th year as the principal of Grafton High School, so almost a decade of these presentations here as well. So super excited about that and ready to be here as well. Last year we talked a lot about our career and technical education department, celebrated a number of our staff members last year in the CTE realm. In 22-23, our ACT achievement goal, the Hawks program, world language travel opportunities. 21-22, our career internship course, the development of our fabrication lab, and we also celebrated a Cole Scholarship winner. And then back in 2021, we talked about our AP Capstone Diploma program, Springer, the Hawks Nest School Store, and back then, learning virtually. Okay, so we're not going to talk about learning virtually this evening. But here are the things we're going to talk about. I'll do a little introduction here in terms of our presentation. And we have two wonderful groups going to talk with you this evening. Our Leo Club, who's up front here, and then our robotics team, the Random Engineers, are here to speak with you about our engineering program. And then I will wrap up with a few Vision 2030 updates from the high school perspective to see the things that we have been up to in terms of our 300-day plan. So, with that being said, we're going to speak to Vision 2030 this evening, and we're going to speak to the student engagement and growth portion of our strategic plan, and that will be our focus of the evening. And first, we're going to kick this off with our Leo Club who will present to you. And our Leo Club really ties to our career readiness standards, our 25 hours of community service desired by graduation, and participation in a co or extracurricular activity. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead. Here are our students that will be presenting this evening, and I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Mrs. Springer as we get the Leo's presentation going. Let's hear it for Mrs. Springer, our Leo.
Good evening. Mr. Manti asked me to share a little bit about why I wanted to be the advisor of the Leo Club. And in fact, I knew it was a service-oriented club, but I didn't know maybe what I was signing up for in the best possible way. I wanted to be involved with the students outside of school, and I think it's really important to teach civic responsibility. We talk often about our students today needing to develop skills in problem solving, but also in face-to-face communication. And at this point in my career, I was missing seeing students outside of the classroom And so when the opportunity came up and for me to be a part of this, I stepped forward gladly. I'm involved in a number of community boards, and so it was important for me to connect my job at school with the community, and we're working diligently as a part of Leo Club to establish some regular community ties for community service. I took over being the advisor in the middle of October, and it was such a wonderful and easy transition with the support of our school liaison through the Lions Club, Mr. Nauta, thank you, and our really excellent board. Our executive board really drives the club in the activities, and I'm just along for the ride, so it's really a pleasure to watch the young men lead. And I will turn it to them.
Thank you, Ms. Springer. We are the officers of the GHS Leo Club, and we just wanted to share a little bit more about our club. Alan, would you like to share the motto?
Sure. So, the 3 letters of Leo Club stand for leadership. So, Leo members acquire skills to lead in a variety of events. Experience. So, essentially, we learn how to have teamwork and cooperate together. And opportunity. So this year, as part of the board, we've been trying to have a lot more volunteer opportunities. So we've been trying to expand how much and where our Leos can participate in for volunteering.
So the objective of Leo Club is to provide the world with an opportunity for development and contribution, individually and collectively, as responsible members of the local, national, and international community. There are 7,700 plus clubs worldwide, 200,000 plus Leos, total 150 plus countries and 60,000 plus service projects. And our club specifically was founded in 2014 and currently has 104 members across the middle and high school, which is the largest in the state.
And then our officers are Colin Garvey is our president, Alan Ziar is our vice president, Will Brulette as our secretary, and me, myself, Leo Chen as the treasurer. And then we have Mrs. Springer as our GHS Leo advisor. And also Mrs. Zellner is our JLMS Leo advisor.
And then some benefits of joining Leo Club, stuff that we try to preach to parents and students when approaching. We have many volunteer activities and hours available. That's kind of the main goal of the club, which helps with the 25-hour recommended by graduation. And then we provide many opportunities for leadership, whether that's for individual activities or in the entire club. We really like to empower our students by giving them opportunities to lead certain areas. And then we like to think that we're a major part of the Grafton community by participating in Grafton events. And we try to help students from ages 12 to 18.
Yeah, so one of our main events that we do throughout the year is Red Ribbon Week. So we participate in it by, so Colin and I this year went to a car, yeah, we went to get a wrecked car from one of our, yeah, so we went to get a wrecked car to show the effects of texting and driving. We want it to be a big part of Red Ribbon Week. As we know, it's a big, part of our school and good for school, culture and the students to understand the importance of not overdosing on drugs and additionally, not texting and driving.
So one major event we do in the summer is the Lions Chicken Roast 5K. So what we do at that event is as the Leos, we help promote the event by standing outside and holding yard signs to drag people from the road over to the chicken roast. And we also help run the games of the chicken roast for the children that are there.
And then our Grafton nights, Leo nights with the Grafton Lions was mainly used for any Lions, JLMS, or Grafton to get to know the Lions a little bit more better. This was also where we were inducted into the Grafton Leos and Lions.
So one major thing we do is we do a nut sale every year. We sold 92 listings in 2023, and this year we sold 118. The money from the nut sale is used to fund our opportunities, some of our volunteer opportunities with the club. And it's also used to make a donation every year, which 2 years ago was to Bob's Under the Bridge.
And this year we decided to donate to Ozaukee County Family Sharing, which helps the community by giving food to a lot of people who need it. As seen in this picture, we donated a $500 check from our nut sale to Family Sharing.
And then one major event we have over the winter is before the Grafton Christmas Parade, we participate with Breakfast with Santa, whether it's just helping clean and maintain the event, serving food, wearing very fun and kind of smelly mascot costumes. And overall, we have a lot of fun with it. We get a lot of opportunities to work with kids, and yeah, it's a great time.
These are some of the pictures from the Christmas parade, in which the drill MS and Leos from Grafton High School get to wear the costumes even more and walk in a parade downtown of Grafton.
And then another, over the winter, is bell ringing for Salvation Army, which we go from November to mid-December. Last year we covered 23 different shifts for a total of 46 different hours, with 26 Leos participating, and we raised about $7,000 for the Salvation Army. And then here are some pictures from that, from our very enthusiastic Leos. We really love the opportunity to ring very loud bells and ask for money.
Yeah, so one of our main biggest events of the year is our district convention, where Leos around our whole entire district, so this year it was Grafton, Port Washington, and a bunch of other Leo clubs from different schools. We all came together and we all went to different areas within the community to help out. I was part of the group that went to the food bank, so what I did was I went to organize the food, I cleaned, swept, did all the, the dirty work, and yeah, we tried to make a big impact in multiple areas of the community, and as you can see, it's a big event with a lot of people, and it makes a huge positive impact every year.
A bit more on the district convention. This year the goal is to make birthday boxes for people who don't have the opportunity to have a birthday. So as you see, people, we have kids sitting at Port Washington State Banks and other areas writing birthday cards to put in those boxes. And then we have similar jobs as Alan was describing, helping food donations.
Thank you very much for listening to the presentation.
We're super proud of our Leo Club and all the work that they have been up to, and thank Mrs. Springer for being a part of our program as well. Any questions at all for the Leos before we move to our next presentation? Anything for the Leos?
Can I have one?
You can. Go right ahead.
Before we leave, I would personally, on behalf of the officers, I would like to thank Mr. Nada. He's been very helpful in this year. It's been a little rocky, especially at the beginning. He's been very dependable and always willing to help because he truly does care about this art club of ours.
Thank you. Great group of kids. It's a great program. Saturday mornings for the convention, they're up at 7 o'clock in the morning to be there. So great work. You guys are doing a great job for the school, and it's great that we have John Long and the high school as one collective big district. And they're not lying when they do say that we are the biggest Leo club in the state of Wisconsin. So kudos to our advisors, because it doesn't happen without them. So thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome to the perfect. Okay. At this point, I'd like to bring up the random engineers. Come on up, everybody. I'll go back for you. Okay. All right. Random engineers, come on up, please. So we are super excited to have our random engineers here. One of our FTC teams that are going to share information with you and also provide a demonstration. But before they do that, we'll turn it over to our advisor, Mrs. Erin Sumner.
Hello. So it's me and it's Mr. Dodge. I'm not the only one who does this. So a little bit of history here is we started this back in 2019. And then there's a massive commitment of time to understanding the program, what they have to do, because we get the challenge in September. And then they have to have a working robot by, December or January or February. So it's a little tiny short span. So the commitment for out of school was really hard for me and Mr. Dodge to do. So you guys as a school board allowed us to have it as a class in 2021. And it's been pretty good. We've had from 16 to 20 plus kids in the class. And then 2024, this year, this group of boys they will tell you they've been together for a long time through Lego League. And their parents are also very committed. So they have volunteered to do a hybrid team. 2 were in the class, and then they met a lot during the week in the evening hours with parents coming in and helping monitor that. So we really, really appreciate your parents for doing that. And then district contributions is every year you buy the field, it's a new game. So we have a new field that's about $500. It's $500 every year for the new field. So it's not really the field, but the gaming pieces for the field. And so the district pays for that. They also pay for the advisor stipends. And then the main way we get money to help pay for this is through the DPI grants. So I write that and work through that every year and work with the business department here to get that sent out. So last year we brought in $3,731, and this year we are anticipating we should be getting $4,139. So that really helps it. As you can see, the cost for this team alone for registration fee, they did 3 competitions this year. That's a total of $940 just in fees, not even including all the money we spent on the parts and the building and replacing of parts that get bad. So it is not a cheap thing to do. And then the future, we have many students participating in the first Lego League, which you guys found out about, I think, last month, right? And so there are 2 currently in 8th grade, so not a big group coming in, but there are 15 kids in 7th grade. So we're hoping that those kids move on to the first tech challenge, the next step when they get to high school. So we're hoping to still see our numbers grow. Okay. Your turn. Yes. You want me to?
Oh yeah, can you do that? Before I talk about all the cool things we did this year, I'm going to give a little background on the team. We are all sophomore boys, and we each have varying experience for robotics. I've been in it for, I believe, 7, maybe 9 years, somewhere in between then. And we also have been officially a team, the Random Engineers, since 2019. We've been a team in FLL and in FTC. And we have a various amount of accolades from people on the team and several other teams that kind of combined into this team. So we've gotten to state 4 times for FLL and then won first place Core Values Award, which is like positivity and like teamwork and all that jazz. So
yeah, okay, next slide. And I'm just gonna tell you about like our general season timeline. So FTC actually runs essentially year round. And both last year and this year, we hosted a food drive and also showed off our robot at the Grafton Robotics Expo in April. And we were able to collect around 1,500 pounds of food at the food drive. And then later in May, we received a $1,000 grant from the GEF. The season is revealed in mid-May and then runs generally through February. Oh my gosh.
That's okay.
Yeah. So we ran a BrotFi fundraiser, and we're able to fundraise around an additional $500 off that. And then for our season timeline, we did begin by creating a game plan based off the season materials that year, and then design a robot based around that game plan. Then we have to actually build the robot, and then we have to code the robot so it can both interact with the gamepad and autonomously control itself. We also ran a robotics club at Woodview over the second quarter where we taught 5th graders about it using the Lego robots. And we had 3 competitions from December through February.
Matthew, why don't you say your name for us?
Oh,
Jake,
well,
I don't think you
I'm
will,
Matthew.
Hi, I'm Matthew. Matthew, what's your name?
Matthew.
I think it's Matthew. What's your last name, Matthew? What's your last name? What's your last name, Jacob?
Nestor.
My mom.
Next. Your name and your mother.
I'm Sam Pekarsky,
Good job.
and I'm going to tell you about the different parts of FTC. FTC consists of many different parts, such as designing and building a robot, coding, outreach, fundraising, and communication. As a team, at every competition we go to, we're judged on our engineering portfolio, which we handed out to you guys, our robot performance, and our presentation. FTC requires critical thinking with engineering and computer science skills, business, fundraising and grant writing, organization, event planning and documentation, outreach with leading STEM education, and public speaking.
My name is Chase Tendrup, and for our first year, we went 0-10 in our competitions, but second year we went 12-10 with 11-6 for qualification rounds and 1 and 4 in playoffs. And we placed in playoffs 2 out of the 3 competitions that we did. And we also placed second place in the Innovate Award. And in qualifications, we also finished 7th, 15th, and 8th place. And once again, we've been in the playoffs 2 times this year. And each competition had about 24 to 30 teams.
I'm Michael Pan, and here we have a video example. Please ignore the commentator, my voice sounds better. All right, so for the first 30 seconds, we have an autonomous period where we use pre-programmed code to run the robot. And then after that, we have human drivers who will control the robot manually.
Which one are you?
2, 4, 5, 8, 9 brings the 2 specimen in, while 11, 3, 5, 3 is just going to sit still and park.
This one right there.
Sergeant Chaos is finishing with the park. 2, 4, 5, 8, 9. Going to keep on pushing it in with 6 seconds left.
So
and they're
with
going to
that
stop.
one, they put,
2, 3, 8, 2, not going to park here. That's okay.
pick it
Let's
up
see
over
what
there,
Joey does.
in a bucket. They picked up one of, they put one of those. Pick up a piece.
3.
They put one of those in a bucket. That was all automated, no controlling.
Alrighty, everyone's off to the races here.
Now the
2,
kids
4,
are
5, 8, 9
controlling
already
it
given.
now.
Yeah, this is called the
Yeah.
So this is where we control it and not just like the program we have. So this means we need to practice a lot and like refine our driving skills.
So the autonomous, like I said at the beginning, the first 30 seconds when it moved, was it moving out of a position? It put a piece into the top bucket to receive points, and then it parked in a certain spot to receive points.
My name is Will Riley. I'm going to be talking about a few of our future goals. So first of all, for outreach events, we're hosting a food drive and robotics display at the Grafton Robotics Expo, and a Woodview Fun Night, and we're going to hopefully display our robot for some of the kids to see. For fundraising, we're scheduling a brat fry, and we're reaching out to different businesses for more fundraising for our robot. And for our team, we're working on applications for hopefully adding additional team members and learning new skills from experts this summer. And we're also organizing a 24-hour build day where when we get the challenge, we just work on the robot constantly for 24 hours and see what we can get after that.
Is this a summer know about that?
Yes, I found out today. I just first time I heard about it.
All right. So now me and Matthew are going to do a quick demonstration of the robot for you guys.
And then we'll let 2 of you try it out.
Is it fire? Like BattleBots?
No, you get penalized if you hurt the other robot. You can touch them, but if you damage it, you get penalized. Yeah.
They did almost decapitate one of the rats at one point.
They did
ask not to do that anymore.
Probably good.
Alright, so we are going to start off by grabbing one of these blocks. So we're going to use this big arm over here. We're going to lower it down. We're going to hit the block in there. Then we can pinch it, push it up. Then with one button press, we can move it over there. I'm just going to put it again. We're going to use the slow buttons on my controller to navigate through these cones easier. And drive over to Chase. Our robot can also play side to side.
Wow. And we have to deposit.
Alright. Okay. We have this board. Yeah.
Okay, so Mr. Nod and Mr. Nelson, please.
This was well planned.
Excellent. What we're going to do is this arrows, so to the right.
You can get your instructions from Will.
So that's down.
Okay.
These six.
Is that thing insured?
And then the right one will open it up.
Buttons on the
And the left one will sort of move up.
Oh, so that it moves quickly. Bring it back, Mr. Noel. Bring it back, get it from me.
Oh, boy.
Oh, look at you.
Wow.
You're not just that on, Shakes, help me out. Yes, thanks,
Well, now you gotta put your arm back down. That's where the decapitation.
Yes, that's the one.
Oh, that was up.
Oh, there we go. Wow, it's really touchy. That's good. Nice. Look at you. Great job. Good teaching.
Oh, yeah, a little.
It's like ice. Wow.
All right, so thank you so much to our random engineers. Do you have any questions for the random engineers at all about their presentation or their demonstration at all?
So did you build that?
Yeah, we had to build it, and we purchased parts on our website from Joe Buildup. We bought a kit that included instructions for the base, and then we had to design everything else.
Wow.
So at the beginning of the year, everything except for the base is gonna be taken off. Because they don't know what the next year's challenge is. So after the expo, or if you're doing that with you this summer, you're keep it together. But then once that's done, take it apart, and we start all over.
Except the base, you said?
Yeah.
That always stays the same?
With the wheels.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it has to be 18 by 18 by 18.
Oh, yeah.
You might need some new wheels after.
How's the thing crab walk? Like,
So it has like, I think they're called Mecanum.
Mecanum.
Yeah, Mecanum wheels. So it, when they turn like this.
These rotate in, and these rotate out, and
Oh, cool.
because of like science.
I was just going to commend you all for how well spoken you are. You know, it's a process.
What type of language do you guys use to code with?
English?
Code using both blocks and jobs.
Okay, that's a little bit more to describe.
Most, I think you guys do all block pretty much, right?
Not for a ton.
Not for a ton. You do have Java? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we have geometry, so essentially, these two wheels can track the robot's position, and then we can calculate how far it's driven.
They've come a long way in 1 year, so we're looking forward to what the next 2 years are going to bring. Maybe make a state, make it to state. That's our goal, make it state. So I say that every year that comes out, and when they say gameplay, they have to figure out what they're gonna do to earn points, because there's lots of ways to earn points. So there was also this year a thing where you could pick up the piece and it was hooked on with another black piece and they could hook it on something. None of our robots this year decided to do that. But it was very impressive going to competitions and seeing the teams that were able to do that. So, use that. So that was cool. So again, it's their choice on how they want to build the points in order to win the competition. Which they always have a random partner too, which was never explained. You get a random partner for every match.
Yeah. We also have a feature on our robot, this hook right here. With it.
This,
We can hang with that.
this will raise up, and then at the end of each match, we have to hang and lift up our robot to hang the ball.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
And then we'll grab a picture at the end. Is that fine? If you guys want to hang out, we'll grab a picture at the end. Okay? Sound good? Mr. Seibel, can we go back to that first presentation then? Thank you so much. Perfect. All right, so the very fun part of the presentation, an interactive part, is over. But they're hanging here, yeah. So, but we have one more item to cover with you, which is important but in a different manner. So I just want to spend just a few minutes providing you some GHS updates on Vision 2030 and the work that we're doing on Vision 2030 at GHS this year. So our 300-day plan for this school year is focusing on the following indicators. So our ACT composite score and our target group performance, community service hours, the selecting of a career cluster by graduation and taking a course within that cluster, and also our 21st century skills focused on appropriate use of personal devices. So within all of Vision 2030, which we work on, these are the pieces that we've spent a lot of time on as a staff so far this year. This highlights our college-ready indicators that I mentioned with our ACT composite score and our target group outcomes. You will see that I'll show you just a few artifacts throughout the course of the year, which are new and unique from the past. In particular, this is talking about our target group within our ACT performance. And this year, during Black Hawk time, we had targeted intervention for our target group in terms of the ACT and pre-ACT. And I'm going to show you a couple of examples of what that looked like. So each month, students who were designated within the target group received assistance during Black Hawk time. And you can see here that this was an entire faculty calendar when it came to all of our core areas and the number of students that were requested on those particular days in Black Hawk time. So really working together to make sure that our students are getting the support that they need when it comes to pre-ACT and ACT performance. We did this from December all the way through March. So we're just finishing up that fourth opportunity for our students. This is just the February calendar, very similar to the December calendar, but you would see all of the work from our core departments during Black Hawk time being very targeted for our students to support them. So that's one of the artifacts that I wanted to share with you regarding college readiness. In terms of career readiness, looking at our community service hours this year and as I mentioned, our career cluster and selecting that by graduation and taking a course within that area. So a few things here that are going on. You can see our 2 career ready statements that we have within our 300-day plan. One of the community service focusing on a process and the tool for recording our hours this year, and that's tied directly to our Leo Club who spoke this evening. And then also for our career ready statement number 2, really identifying which experiential courses that we offer at GHS match with the appropriate career cluster. So that's a big part of our work. We did speak about that a little bit at a previous curriculum committee meeting as well. So this is something that was shared with the freshmen just a few days ago. This talks about the importance of volunteering with all of our freshmen, providing them some information about that. And what will be coming up for them is on the afternoon of our all-school testing day on April 10th, they will have various opportunities, and they actually signed up this morning for where it is that they're going to go in the afternoon of the all-school testing day. One of the options for students is to go to River Edge and work with the ecology team on projects at the Nature Center. A second will be working with Family Sharing, and they're going to pack Easter-themed treats for their bags in their backpack program. So that's another opportunity with Family Sharing. And in addition to that, they will be able to go to Kennedy and Woodview and Village Point Commons. I only shared a couple of examples, but they'll have all of those choices to get started as freshmen on their path to community service and earning those 25 hours. So we're super excited about that. I also mentioned the resource that we will utilize for documentation of the hours. We have formally introduced Zella, which is our academic and career planning program, as the platform that we will use for tracking these hours. So this is a program our students already use through our academic and career planning process, and now we will be using the same program to go ahead and capture those community service hours that students complete while they're here at GHS. So I wanted to show you the progress that we were making there. In terms of the career cluster, this was for our seniors, and we did this last week on an academic and career planning day. Our seniors had to do the following things. We talked to them about our career clusters, so helping them understand the clusters. They had to identify which cluster aligned with their interests, and then they went ahead and reviewed their transcript and identified which courses that they've taken or haven't taken that align with the cluster. So that's where we're at in terms of providing the board with our first baseline information that you'll see on that key performance indicator once we get to the end of the school year. So this is well on its way and in place as well. So that happened with our seniors. And with our sophomores on April 10th, also very related to this with our all-school testing day in the afternoon, our sophomores will have the following options, which they signed up for this morning. If they want to go on a campus visit, we're going to Concordia, MATC, and Marquette. If they want to look at a workplace visit of larger organizations and all the opportunities that exist within large organizations. We're looking at Aurora, the Ozaukee County Courthouse, and Wheelo as far as those options for worksite visits. So sophomores will have those choices on April 10th in the afternoon. Super excited about how that day is coming together and being a true academic and career planning day in addition to the standardized testing that will take place on that date. And finally, our life readiness component. You've heard a lot about this already this year, but our life readiness component was assisting students with personal devices and being their best at GHS when utilizing or not utilizing personal devices. And you've seen a lot about our cell phone policy this year in terms of removing that from students in the classroom. It's been wildly successful in terms of the engagement in the room with those cell phones checked in those caddies. And that's been a great experience for our teachers and keeps our students actively participating in class and collaborating with peers. So that's relating to our life readiness work. So all of those pieces are really what we've been working on throughout the course of the year. Very directed to Vision 2030 and very much looking at those areas where we believe we need the most growth as a faculty. As I mentioned, April 10th is a big day for us coming up. April 10th will be our morning testing day. You can see which tests will take place during that morning. And then I've talked to you already about what the afternoon will look like. So we're excited for that coming up after spring break. And I'll close with just a couple of recent events at GHS. We're super excited this year to be working in our first year of a 5-year partnership with the United Way on our Empowering Minds grant, looking at the wellness of our students. As a result of this grant, we have a new club called the Raise Your Voice Club, which is pictured on the left-hand side. And the couple pictures that we have here are from our most recent Wellness Week in February. So the Empowering Minds grant has been great. It's also led to some unique partnerships. So this was during exam week, and during exam week we partnered with the Kazmarek Center, and we had study sessions at the Kazmarek Center. Our yoga club met at the Kazmarek Center, and there also was a little food and beverage area for our students as well. So that's a unique new partnership that kind of stemmed from this Empowering Minds grant. So that's cool to share with you. We've done a lot with music the last couple of weeks. Chili Day, our successful fundraiser for our district music department, but then also hosting solo and ensemble with Mr. Brown and Ms. Klepek, doing a lot of work to host 13 schools and over 500 events on the last weekend. So here are some pictures from solo and ensemble. And then finally, it is March Madness week at Grafton High School. It is our first March Madness student council activity that we're conducting, and tomorrow morning during Black Hawk time is our first showdown of actual basketball, sophomores versus seniors, freshmen versus juniors. The winners will play Friday morning on a shortened game, and then that will be end up the day with a game against the staff. So student council was excited to bring this forward. We're excited to support them, and we'll get started right away with some basketball on Tuesday. So excited about all of those items. Lots of things that we could share, just choosing a few with you that I think deserve some recognition. So one more time, thanks again for your support of Grafton High School, for everything you do for us, for all the resources that you provide our students to be able to have such a great robotics program and to do some really cool things with Leo. You're seeing just a few of our students here, but like sophomores right here, seniors, and we have a junior, in there as well. But, I'm just super lucky to be able to be the principal of this high school and really within this community. So thank you so much, and if you have any questions for us, we're happy to take them.
Any follow-up questions? Thank you. Great presentation.
Yeah, thank
Jeff,
you.
you want a picture?
Yeah, let's take a picture of the board.
Death robot.
Great job.
You should say that.
Let's have you guys join the board. A little different. Like usually we have to have the board in the back. We have to have the students behind the board. on, Miss Summer. There we go, that's good.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, I cannot see, yeah, relax. Sean's face. Sean, there. She's like, it's fine. Okay, everybody. Okay, no fixing hair. Ready? I never know where to go. I'm good. Yeah, we'll look at
Corned beef.
Always makes me sad.
They only when it's just good news, bad news.
Very good. Mr. Nelson, would you like to continue with your superintendent report?
Yes, I'll have Mr. Moore come up and talk about some of our students who have been recognized, whether it's in our fine arts area or in our athletic areas.
Thank you. It's great to piggyback off of some of the wonderful achievement that you've seen. Am I further over left today? Like,
They moved you.
Do you want me to move it over?
I
I'm going to be in the collab space. Pretty
I
quick.
think Miss Nestler moved you.
Just gonna, yeah.
There we go.
I didn't know if I was off base or not. But anyway, wonderful to piggyback off of some of the great achievement that you've seen with some of the things that we've seen from our wonderful students over the winter. And I'd like to start out with the following musicians who qualified for the state solo and ensemble competition. Some of these very kids, as a matter of fact. Instrumental solos, Megan Brulette, Hannah Foytz, Asher Kagamba, Lincoln Grykar. Instrumental ensembles, Charlotte Barnett, Alex Bergman, Megan Brulette, Marissa Bryan, Gabrielle Del Toro, Justin Durst, Hannah Foytz, Lacey Grykar, Lincoln Grykar, Chris Hackbarth, Ashley Hansen, Audrey Kleckner, Asher Kagamba, Nina Massey, Max Mazzari, Shane McAllister, Ariana Miner, Nelson Oliveris, Sam Pekarsky, Leander Pritzloff, Angelique Reyna, Gabe Salko, Jordan Thiel, Connor Tice, Gwen Williams, Aaron Wise, Bella Windsor, and Alan Z. Vocal solos, Zach Bigler, Charlie Danielson, Lucy Day, Juna Eberman, Maya Erdl, Ariana Fuentes, Alex Gangler, Bella Goodwin, Francesco Grasso, Sophia Heil, Bo Young, Izzy Lubick, and Matthew Olson. And vocal ensembles, Zach Bigler, Becca Bosmans, Chinook Shadari, Lucy Day, Kat Didier, Juna Eberman, Ariana Fuentes, Alexa Gangler, Bella Goodwin, Francesco Grasso, Sophia Heil, Bo Young, Izzy Lubick, Matthew Olson, Abby Rigg, Mason Rigg, Liesl Schilling, Mackenzie Nielsen, and Trinity Terrell. I'll pause for my breath and for you to absorb all that information. And then congratulations to these GHS athletes for their accomplishments in the winter sports season, with winter sports season all but wrapped up. Boys swim and dive team finished third at sectionals, and Gabe Salko qualified for state in the 200 freestyle and the 500 freestyle. Wrestler Ellie Federal qualified for the state tournament once again. Gymnast Elena Jarmus qualified for state in the all-around and the bars. Girls basketball all-conference honorees were Marissa Morgan for the third team, Callie Tegla-Pietra, honorable mention. Team members Kendall Conrad, Ava Dodson, Marissa Morgan, Melanie Morgan, Amber Radke, and Ava Van Sluis earned academic all-state recognition, which includes a 3.5 GPA or higher. The competitive cheer team qualified for state and finished in fourth place. Kenzie Gerke earned all-state recognition as an individual. Daniel Brezovar, Molly French, Kenzie Gerke, Haley Godursky, Elena Jarmus, Caitlin Lindau, Bailey Missouri, Taylor Skibby, and Maya Vance earned WACPA Scholar Athlete recognition, which also includes a GPA of 3.5 or higher. On the boys basketball side, Adam Dembiek, Ian Cornelius, Josiah Gonzalez, Tommy Lutz, and Jack Marty, and Andrew Sherman of the boys basketball team also earned WBCA academic all-state recognition, which once again is a GPA of 3.5 or higher. For dance, Aubrey DeMaster, Juna Eberman, Genevieve Harms, Brenda Leduc, and Hailey Luft earned WACPC Scholar Athlete recognition. And the esports team of Noah Anderson, Elijah Fisher, and Mason Volkman placed third at state in the Fortnite division. So all that being said, that's some of the achievement that we saw over the winter season. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. A couple reminders that the district spring break is from March 24th through the 31st. Staff return on that Monday, March 31st for professional development, and students return on Tuesday, April 1st. School board election reminder on Tuesday, April 1st. Incumbents Blair Jameson and Mark Kaler are running for the 2 open seats on the board. Profiles of the candidates are posted on the district website. A reminder that GEF's largest fundraiser is coming up on Friday, April 11th, at the Ozaki Nonprofit Center. It's a night of giving beginning at 6 p.m. We've heard GEF come and speak about that, but great opportunity to support the GEF on Friday, April 11th. I think last time they were here, they were talking about buying raffle tickets for that. I think they still have some. 50/50 are still available, so an opportunity to either buy one by yourself or go together with someone to purchase that, but appreciate all the work that GEF does for us, and that's a great opportunity on the 11th to support them. And the District Robotics Expo, you heard a little about that earlier, but as a reminder, that's held on Saturday, April 12th at GHS. All 3 levels of the district's LEGO robotics teams will be showcasing their work, and Mr. Adams has our construction update.
Yes, so excited each month to bring you the updates, the progress that we're making at the middle school with the referendum project. And so we have, we'll start off with activities that we have completed. So underground plumbing is complete. I know you can't see the underground plumbing. You'll just have to trust me. It's there. And then in addition, the concrete floor slab. So we were all there last month. Obviously looked very different with the gravel. Now the concrete floor slab has been poured and is complete. In addition, the roof has been installed. And then current activities, the interior is being laid out and the framing is taking place. So those walls for the classrooms are taking shape. In addition, the MEPs are being roughed in. You can see the plumbing roughed in, including some of that being run in that ceiling area in the distance. Also, the RTU is in transit. This is stock photo. This is not the actual RTU or the semi, but I found an image on the internet that I throw it in there. But it is in transit, and upcoming next steps over spring break, that RTU will be delivered and installed onto the roof. Again, stock photo here. Additionally, moving forward, so that outside has been painted gray if you've had a chance to go by there. Between now and when we come back to the next board meeting, the exterior brick facade will be installed. In addition, exterior windows will be installed, and then temporary doors will also be installed, securing the facility all sealed up. And then in addition, the drywalling will be occurring. Again, this is stock photo. This is not actual drywall yet. But next time we meet, we'll have pictures of the actual drywall of the rooms inside. So looking at the schedule, again, we move a month forward. Everything is keeping pace as we've had. So obviously the RTU, that's the long lead equipment item there that will be essentially just about complete as of this point. Furniture, that's just about finalized and ready to be released for ordering. We're well into the addition construction. In fact, we're also going to be able to get a chance over spring break to get inside and do some of the remodeling work that we're going to need to do hard and heavy in the summer. And finally, the budget summary. Finally begun to spend quite a bit of that money now in that construction line item. Last month, we had spent about 6%. Now we spent about 20% of that construction budget. So we're now up to right around 25% of the overall budget basically invoiced. Now that we've had construction well underway and received some pay apps, in particular for that foundation work and the steel work that occurred. So each month we'll be finishing that work and expending some of the funds that we had put aside to complete this project. Any questions?
Look forward to the April pictures.
Yes.
Julia Leeson is leading an AI task force, and one of the things that we talk about is like when you know, is it human generated, is it AI generated, is it chat generated, and obviously we're gonna have to add a stock photo generated, you know, to make sure we're using copyright law and so forth. So that's, I'm learning something tonight so far. Two final things. We will have 70+ band and choir members going to New York City next week to tour New York City, have some great musical experiences. They'll be attending the musical Wicked while there. So I want to thank Mr. Brown and Ms. Klepek and all of our parent volunteers for leading our students on this memorable experience to New York City. And then at last month's meeting, Mr. Nutt had reported that the village administrator Ties and I would be meeting to discuss the second SRO meeting, or the second SRO officer, with the goal of presenting an agreement for review at tonight's board meeting. So Jesse and I met on February 25th to discuss the position and the funding formulas being considered by each of our boards. During our meeting, he indicated he'd be following with the parochial schools regarding this matter in preparation for tonight's meeting. I reached out last week for an update, and he shared that he was meeting with St. Paul's this week and awaiting a response from St. Joe's. So with that, that concludes the superintendent's report.
Any questions?
No questions, but just thanks to Kevin for rattling through all those names. It's amazing and great to see so many names being recognized, both musically, athletically, and even academically within the athletics. And then even to see some names in both arenas is even more impressive. So thanks, Kevin, and thanks to all the kids and everybody who was involved.
Anyone else? I just have one question regarding your meeting with Administrator Tice. Did he give you any indication as far as how the village would like to see the community SRO between the village, the district, and the parochial schools, seeing that it'll be a community SRO?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what he's hoping to learn from the parochial schools, but as we've mentioned multiple times at the village, we mentioned it last month, we mentioned the liaison committee meeting that we had with the village, and I reiterated to Jesse again in our last meeting on the 25th of February that the district is not, any money that the parochial schools were to provide would be going towards the village's percentage. So even though, you know, we have a school resource officer dedicated only to our district right now, and if we move to a community SRO, the board has said we will continue to pay that amount. We aren't asking for the parochial schools to contribute to our amount. So any amount that is raised would go towards the village's portion, but that, you know, the portion that we are offering to pay is similar to what our neighbors are paying with their 2 SROs. And so that's something that we continue to reiterate to them, that what we'd pay and how they work with the parochial schools would be impacting their portion, not our portion.
Okay. All right. Thank you for the report. Next, public comment. I have no emails that I have received that the board has not also received, so there was nothing that I forwarded on. The board recognizes the value of this portion of the agenda for public comment and will adhere to the following guidelines that are established in policy 0167.3, public comment at board meetings. 1, comments should be directed to the board president. Comments should focus on topics within the legitimate jurisdiction of the board. No action or discussion will ensue based on public comment unless the topic being discussed is already an agenda item. Before speaking, please state your name, address, and group affiliation if applicable. Statements are to be limited to 3 minutes in length. And please note that this is a public meeting, that the meeting is being live streamed and will be posted on the district's YouTube channel. So.
Good job, Steve. Hi, my name is Lisa. Oh yeah, okay, I'm a little short for this. I know all these kids, right? I think I got all. Can I just tilt it? Okay. I don't want it to. Okay. You know, my kids do sing vocal. You would think by now I know how to work a mic, but okay. Hi, I'm Lisa Brennan. I'm the president of Grafton Music and Theater Boosters, and I heard through the grapevine, and I'm not as cool as Dan Nash, who used to do this and was quite funny and entertaining. I'm not quite that funny and entertaining, but we've had a busy month, as you've heard, a busy couple of months. I just want to highlight some of the great things. Our elementary school kids actually participated in February in the Awake Festival. So they went down to Lakeland University with their teachers and some select students, and they worked with other students within the area and special conductors, and that just helps to build as we keep going forward. At John Long, they also had solo ensemble at the end of February. There were 38 events, and what's kind of cool about that is one of the students, as they were leaving, somebody asked them where they went to school because they were so impressed with the performance. So that just, again, it's all this building we're doing. Also, last month, in fall, we had 5 students selected to the UWM Middle School Honors Band. That is about 300 students from within southeastern Wisconsin, and from there, they have 3 different bands or ensembles. And the directors come from all over the country. And those directors, who don't know anybody, they select the all-stars. And those are kind of the best of the best. And John Long, both of their 8th graders, Kayla Brennan and Gabriella Rikers, were selected, and they performed with the All-Star Band in February at UWM. So that is a huge accomplishment. We talked about, of course, Solo Ensemble, which was a huge event. Mr. Dimmer put up with me all day in headquarters, so that was kudos to him. And I just want to thank everybody, the teachers who lent rooms to us for all the kids to perform, Bamboo Bistro, who provided lunch at a discount to us for all the judges, and all the parents, the volunteers. We had a ton of volunteers. Really, we had great comments from teachers, from judges. I know I heard Mr. Brown got several emails about what a great event it was. I just want to shout out to National Honor Society who came. I mean, many of those kids knew nothing about music or had ever been to a solo ensemble, and they just like stepped up. They came in, they were respectful, they were moving people all over, they were working rooms. So it was just really a great reflection of just the community here at Grafton High School. So something to really be proud of. And then, of course, our big fundraiser was Chili Day. So if you were here, awesome. It was a great experience, lots of kids performing. We raised $11,000. As that money is paid out, Mr. Seibo will submit those gifts, but just so people know, we've already notified teachers. So Ms. Klepek is getting new costumes for chambers because there are more kids than there are costumes, so she needs more costumes. So that's her big purchase. Mr. Brown is getting money towards a Barry saxophone that is needed because I think Gabe Selko has worked that one to its last breath. So good work for him. And then John Long, they're getting band t-shirts. That's the big thing, is that we bring those 5th graders up. Mr. Dimmer needs more band t-shirts to make them feel belonging in the band. Mrs. Ward has asked for 4 ukuleles, soprano ukuleles that she's getting, as well as these, I'm going to say it wrong, but I think it's tubanos. There's some kind of fancy drum for her drumming circles. And then what Mr. Zielinski is still deciding, but we have earmarked money for him. We're just really happy to be collaborating with the district and are thankful for administration and the board for supporting us. We have a couple of big things. Oh yes, they're going to New York and they're going to see Wicked, but get your ruby slippers and follow that yellow brick road, because April 25th to the 27th is the GHS musical, which is The Wizard of Oz. So that's a great family-friendly event for everybody to come and see. We will, of course, this year we've been doing specialty drinks, so it's all non-alcoholic fun specialty drinks. I heard there's maybe one for Glinda and one for the Wicked Witch, so it'll be kind of fun. And then we're partnering with GHS Teacher Appreciation and Amy's Apples, so that information will come out. And our goal is to get an apple for every teacher in the district. So you'll be seeing information, and that is a fundraiser. Again, all money in goes out for our organization, but also to really support our teachers. So we're excited for those things. And then, of course, May, all sorts of musical events coming up. Thank you. Did I say where I live? I'm so sorry. I did it. 1964 Chippewa Court, Grafton. I just realized that.
Thank you. Anyone else like to address the board? Okay, seeing none, we will go to item D, personnel report.
You are way better than Dan. You're welcome. We have 2 resignations that we'd ask for board approval, and then 2 resignations for informational only, all of these occurring at the end of the school year. Nate Pabst, 5th grade teacher, Woodview Elementary School. Will Hall, social studies teacher, Grafton High School. And then informational only, Emily Nadalaki, library media aide at Grafton High School, and Greg Pelichek, special education para, John Long Middle School.
Any questions on the resignations as presented? Seeing none, I would look for a motion to approve the resignation of Nate Pabst, 5th grade teacher, Woodview, and Will Hall, social studies teacher, Grafton High School.
So moved. Second.
First and a second. Any additional discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes, and we thank Nate and Will for their time in our district and wish them well in the future, as well as with Emily and Greg. E, district library plan update.
Good evening. We are here to share an update for the library plan, starting with an overview. Last spring around this time, you approved the library plan. It was a 3-year plan, and Lorraine is going to be here to share a little bit more about how we are addressing our goals that you approved last spring. Just wanted to review that the Department of Public Instruction did approve our plan this October. We had to submit that. And again, this is a plan for the next 3 years.
Okay, so here we are, 1 year into it. It's kind of exciting when you take the time to reflect and see where, what you've done and where you're headed. So our goals, there were 6 of them, to assess and enhance the digital resources, integrate elementary library lessons with the curriculum alignment. The Amplify curriculum changed things in the classroom a great deal, and we wanted to reflect that in the services that we were providing in the library in our lessons. Establishing and enhancing the middle school makerspace, which we have, that's going underway, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that in the upcoming slides. Enhancing elementary library collection to support the Amplify curriculum. Enhancing accessibility for middle school students in the organization of the library, and transforming the high school LMC into a vibrant learning hub. So we have, this is only a small amount of the databases and resources that we are adding at all levels. Prior to doing so, we took a look at what are we lacking, what are we needing. We did some surveys, some observations, what kids and teachers were coming in and looking for and needing. And some of that is reflected in what we have. And there's a great deal of resources. And they were on Clever, on the library web pages, and kind of all over. So we are streamlining and making sure that those are organized and that teachers and students alike know where to find those. And we are having an LBC session for teachers to learn about library resources this summer. The one that we're doing is K-8. So that will be happening, and not only the digital resources, but some of the other hands-on physical things that are in the library and in the maker spaces, which are also part of the library. So we wanted to align the curriculum. So we have K4 to 5 lessons that we have, kindergarten, 4K, and our cute little 4Kers, and through our 5th graders. So we have been updating the lessons throughout the year to meet the students' need. As you go, you know you're tweaking it because we did a major change in how we were presenting our library lessons. We took a look last year, and then we talked about that. I think it was 27 lessons per week, or per year. And when you really break that down and see what is the best use of our time, that is something that we've looked at in a 30-minute time frame. And we really want the focus for our elementary kids to be on developing that passion and love of reading. I think if they don't get it at that level, we're going to have a hard time getting them excited about books and learning. So it's a lot of fun with the littles. One example was one district, one book, one school, one district, one book, school. Sounds something like that, right? We did the Wild Robot, which was exciting. Kids got to pick. Kind of knew that one was going to win with the excitement of the movie. We have an exciting opportunity coming up in April in which we're going to have a family viewing event. So sort of a celebration of the culmination of our book. We're going to continue to work on our 5th grade lessons. Things are going to change when they come to the middle school because we're going to have double the lessons. It's a new space, learning the new space, and our exciting little makerspace that's in there we're going to utilize and fuse that into our learning as well. So speaking of the makerspace, we have had fun with that. I think students get really excited about it. We had gotten a grant last year, which was instrumental in helping us to really get that going. This second semester now, trying every Friday to have a different maker activity during store time for students to sign up. We're going to be having a sticker day coming up this week for spring. Students have made bags, they've made shirts, all different kinds of things, and also the excitement of the 3D printer. Wow, I thought that poor thing was going to burn out. Kids were going crazy with that. We've, you know, you learn as you go, and at first it was, you may print, you know, 2 a month. We had to kind of do a little bit of scaling back because it started to get a little, like I said, I thought we were going to burn out the printer. But we have also teamed up with Robin Morgan and her STEAM students because they learn how to use and do designs, and now they have a nice printer that they can use in the library. We started by letting them do things that they found online. Problem with that was live and learn again. You see this really cool dragon, but now I want you to learn the skill of design and then printing. So that's been a good connection with Robin. We have to take a step back and be satisfied with starting at the beginning, like on that nameplate, but we've got kids that are kind of rolling with it, and it's been fun. We have added over 545 books that support Amplify. So there are lists in Destiny that teachers have access to. We also have displays that we put out when students are learning about that subject, and then it's nice because they're excited about what they're learning about in their classroom, and then the library aides are able to help kids find those books in those exciting topics that they're learning about. Middle school students, the accessibility that we were looking for, we completed that. Yay, that was a big shout out to the library aides because that was a lot of work. We have in the collection, we have all of the genres indicated. So if you looked up a book, you could see what the genre was. But then the big exciting part was we have stickers on the outside of the book so you can tell. And they're all together in their own genre spot. So the good old library skills that you always learn, alphabetized by the author's last name, but fantasy is all together, scary books are all together, mysteries all together. And it really works in a natural way that a student uses the library. Can't tell you how many times they would come and say, where is your fantasy section? And saying, well, that's not how a library is organized doesn't really make sense. It means that we need to change how it's organized to make it work for you. And it's fun because we all have our interests, and kids can go to that section and browse, and it feels like a really natural, organic way to find something that you're interested in reading. So you see the walls are very beige, but we have some pretty things now. Our makerspace here has kind of expanded to doing other things. We have, 88 minutes of a captive audience when students are in the library for their study hall times, and I have to say I love the cell phones being gone because you just kind of see the change that's happened in students, and that's a long time to focus on studying. So yes, we need brain breaks, but just to watch what their brain breaks, it would not look like this if they had their device to distract them. So we have puzzles, we have all different activities. They can learn how to do our exciting vinyl cutter, our Cricut that we have, which is also a vinyl cutter. They can make shirts. We can collaborate with classrooms too, so that's kind of in its infancy but growing. That was something that's happening at the middle school too, with that connection with classrooms, art, things like that. We did do that. We did make we had a wellness week here, which was really fun, and kids got to make little bags. So, pretty exciting stuff. Any questions?
Questions, information only. Thank you very much. Item F, 9th Avenue Shed Agreement.
Yes, for several years, Grafton Little League has used the storage shed they built on district property on 9th Ave near John Long Middle School. A couple years ago when they built their new fields, I'd met with Patrick Stemper talking about that shed and would they be interested in selling it to the district. Jamie has expressed continued needs for more storage, and I met again with Patrick last week and talked about the shed again. And now that they have, now that the town is building their town hall, they have an opportunity to store some of their stuff out there, and so they have no need for the shed. So we negotiated an agreement where we would waive facility use fees for them for 4 years, starting with this spring 2025 baseball season. And I've asked Jamie to come up and talk about how he plans on using the shed as we've made the turf at the softball field and the baseball field. Now we're expanding John Long, and all those different things that are happening there, how that shed will be utilized for district use.
Yeah, so, long time coming, very, very excited. I think that was somewhat of the plan when we moved JV field, all baseball and softball over to one location. So right now we're housing our zero turns inside Woodview Elementary. We have some of the material sitting outside Woodview. So now we will have a shed, and it will make our lives so much easier to maintain these facilities.
Sometimes we've had to bring equipment from here at the high school over to the middle school or to Woodview to be able to utilize it, and it's going to allow us to just be more efficient with some of those pieces also.
Yeah, absolutely. We only have 2 trucks.
Yeah.
And a limited, so now, and we use a lot of part-time employees. So this is going to help us out tremendously, and with our budget purposes too.
Yeah, so we're really pleased that Grafton Little League is a partner with us. They've been a partner for many years, but to partner with us on the storage shed. So we would ask for board approval to approve the agreement transferring ownership of the 9th Avenue sheds as outlined previously.
Any questions on the agreement?
Lost revenue about, I know Little League fees fluctuate. but-
Yep, it's about $2,000 is what we looked at. It's between 15 and 2,000.
Yeah, so it's, last year, I think it was $1,600 to $1,700.
And that's just
total.
4 years and then right back to normal?
Yep, and a lot of the feeders have used some of those fees to offset purchasing equipment for various pieces. So it hasn't necessarily been revenue, but it has helped our teams. In this case, it's going to help baseball, softball, and our grounds team.
That sounds like a very, very cheap shed. That's fine.
This is the shed that has the siren directly behind it? Or not
Correct.
directly, by the concessions?
Correct.
building?
The building that's brown next
Right,
to
yeah, I looked it up on
the
Google
gray
Earth.
and black
It's the
ones.
smaller, right off
The
of
ones
the-
that we'll have to remodel to
Yep.
make it look nice, but yes,
Okay.
that's the one.
So we'll make sure that this one looks as nice as our concession stand that we invested in.
Okay. All right. Seeing no other questions, I would look for a motion to approve the agreement transferring ownership of the 9th Avenue shed as outlined above.
So moved.
Second.
Additional discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. And thank you, as well as extend our appreciation to the Little League for the partnership. Next is G, and the packet has G as being the gift report, but online, the G is actually the overnight trip request, so.
And we have it up
Yep.
here as well.
So,
Yep, so
go ahead.
Thank you. I'm sorry. GHS Future Business Leaders of America, FBLA, is hosting their state leadership competition. So this just came in today, so that's why it wasn't in the original packets. We apologize, but it was updated this afternoon. Carrie Slavinsky is our coach coordinator for that. You can see the 8 students that will be going from 3:31 through 4:1. She'll be working to get a male chaperone to, per board policy, having a chaperone for the males as long as she's with there with the females. And they get to participate in leadership competitions through FBLA. Great opportunity for our kids to be able to compete in these things. They competed back in January at the regional level, and they were able to qualify for the state level and go on there. So we'd ask for board approval for our FBLA group.
Any questions? If not, I look for a motion to approve the student overnight trip request as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Additional discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? That passes. Finally, the gift report.
Yes, we have 3 gift reports we would ask for board approval for. One from the Grafton, well, 2 being from the Grafton Athletic Booster Club with Ben Brienne as the contact person. One is for the GHS track and cross-country programs for track and cross-country record boards in the amount of $5,700. Another for the GHS athletic programs for smoke machines in the amount of $3,000. And then one from Tello's Grill and Cafe for GHS dance. They made a dance team donation of $300. So we'd ask for board approval for those 3 donations.
Any questions? Look for a motion to approve the gift report as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Additional discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes, and we thank all of our donators for their generosity, and we'll get them a letter. So, Mr. Manti, thank you for today and for the presentation. Thank you to all the principals for our presentations. It was, it's always fun, and it's a fun time of the year to get through all that. So when we get to this point, we mean school's getting towards the end. So, so thank you. Great job by all of you, and appreciate the extra time. This brings us to adjournment. The Board of Education will consider a motion to convene in closed session pursuant to Wisconsin Statute 19.85, Section 1, subsection C, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility for purpose of considering 1, preliminary notice of non-renewal of teaching contracts, 2, teacher compensation, and 3, performance-related data of the superintendent on a quarterly review. Do we have a motion to go into closed?
Second.
We'll take a voice vote.
Yes.
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 And yes, thank you. We are in closed.